Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app and you can attempt the quiz in this app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now, let's start. India held the inaugural meeting of Counter Narcotics Working Group with which country? So, it is USA. It was the inaugural meeting and it was related to counter narcotics. The idea is to curb the drug menace. And in this meeting, the Indian delegation was represented by Deputy Director General of NCB. What is NCB? It is Narcotics Control Bureau. So it is the nodal authority in our country to control the drug menace. And this NCB is under MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Recently, MHA was in news as it released the list of best police stations. And as per that list, the Nongpo Sekmai police station is the best police station in our country. And this is in Manipur. Now recently, MHA was also in news as it approved a research study on status of radicalization in our country. And this study will be conducted by GS Bajpayee. Please note that as of now, the term radicalization is not legally defined and therefore it is prone to misuse. So once this study will be conducted, it will try to define, that means legally define the term radicalization. And then UAPA may be amended to include this definition. What is UAPA? It is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and it is an act of 1967. 737 MAX, which was in news recently, is the airliner of which famous company? So it is related to Boeing and it is USA based company. Now the 737 MAX was grounded last year because of the two crashes. Now it has been redesigned and therefore it was in news. Recently USA was in news because of 2+2 dialogue with India, and during that dialogue BECA was signed. Answer in comment box, what is BECA? USA was also in news because it quit WHO, that is World Health Organization. WHO was in news because of COVAX facility. So it is alliance of WHO, CEPI and Gavi. Gavi is Global Vaccine Alliance, CEPI is Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, and WHO is World Health Organization. Recently, Dr. Harshvardhan, India's health minister, was elected as the chairperson of Executive Board of WHO. Which country has banned cotton imports from China citing slave labor? So, this decision was taken by USA and it has banned the cotton and cotton products from Xinjiang province of China. To be specific, it is Xinjiang Production and Construction Corps. It is one of the largest producer of China in terms of cotton. So recently, USA issued withhold release order in this context. Now recently, China was also in news as China became the second country after USA to plant its national flag on the surface of moon. USA was first such country and China recently achieved this milestone with the help of Chang'e 5 probe. China was also in news because of HL-2M tokamak reactor. So China has successfully powered up its artificial sun with the help of this reactor, and it is a fusion reactor. So three most important developments were, one was this artificial sun and it was powered with the help of this reactor, and the reactor was tokamak reactor. It was a fusion reactor. Second one was this Chang'e 5 probe. So with the help of this mission, China hosted its national flag on the surface of moon and it became the second country to do so after USA. And third one was this decision of USA to ban cotton imports from Xinjiang province of China on the grounds of slave labor. CBSE, that is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, has mandated HSN code while issuing GST invoice. So the question is, what is HSN? So it is Harmonized System of Nomenclature. Now CBSE is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. HSN is Harmonized System of Nomenclature and GST is Goods and Service Tax. So recently CBSE mandated that HSN code should be mentioned for certain chemical based products. So whenever a product related GST is issued, the HSN code should be mentioned. So this will help in curbing the tax evasion. Now this HSN code is a 8-digit code. It is also known as HS code, and it has been developed by WCO, that is World Customs Organization. Recently, it was also in news because of Ayush Export Promotion Council. So, for the promotion of export of Ayush products, this council has been set up, and for this purpose, that means for increasing the export, recently HS code for these products was standardized. Next is, what is the name of India's first indigenous aircraft carrier? So it is INS Vikrant. It is first indigenous aircraft carrier, and it will be commissioned by 2022. Why it was in news recently? Because of trials. This indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant has been constructed by Cochin Shipyard, and it is for Indian Navy. Recently, Navy Day was celebrated on 4th of December. In this context, Operation Trident was also in news. Answer in comment box, what was Operation Trident? Which organization has released the provisional 2020 State of Global Climate Report? So this has been released by WMO, that is World Meteorological Organization. Now in the context of climate, there is a Paris deal, and India is the only G20 country to follow the commitments under this Paris Agreement. Recently, it was also in news as USA formally left Paris Agreement. Recently, USA was also in news as US Senate, that is Upper House of US Parliament, passed a bill to remove the restrictions on number of employment related to immigration visa from a particular country. Now what does this mean? In simplest term, previously it was an issue because there was a limit. Now I am giving you a rough example. Suppose there was a limit that only 100 people from India who are on visa will be given employment. So there was a limit. Now a bill has been passed to remove such restrictions. That means there won't be any country specific restriction. So this is going to benefit many Indian professionals in USA. As per the Finance Ministry, what is the recovery trajectory of Indian economy? So it is V-shaped. Now what is the meaning of this term V-shaped recovery? So it is categorized by a quick and sustained recovery. So as you can see, there was a downfall and then there was a quick recovery. So after a sharp economic decline, there was a quick recovery. This is V-shaped. Now there is one more popular type of recovery. It is Z-shaped. So this is going to be like this. So previously there was decline. Now it is recovering and it is going to witness higher growth than the previous time. So this is Z-shaped recovery. This is V-shaped recovery. NGR, that is Negotiating Group on Rules, which was seen in news recently, is associated with which organization? So it is related to WTO, that is World Trade Organization. Why it was in news? Because recently NGR, that is Negotiating Group on Rules, meeting was conducted by WTO and it was related to fisheries subsidies. Now India's permanent representative to WTO has stated that member countries should reduce the subsidies on unsustainable fishing. See, because of orthodox methods and because of bad practice of fishing, it is harmful to environment, and that is why India is saying that such type of unsustainable fishing should be discouraged and subsidies should be reduced from such type of fishing. Now who is India's permanent representative to WTO? He is Brijendra Navneet. The headquarters of WTO is in Geneva in Switzerland. Which organization has become India's first regulated gas exchange? So it is IGX. IGX was launched as India's first automated trading platform for natural gas, and this IGX is a subsidiary of IEX. What is IEX? It is Indian Energy Exchange. Recently, IGX obtained all necessary approvals from Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. Therefore, it became the first regulated gas exchange of our country, and it is a subsidiary of IEX. And IEX is India's first energy exchange, and it is regulated by CERC, that is Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. Which country has introduced a veto power on any agreement entered with foreign countries. So this is done by Australia. Parliament of Australia passed a legislation that permits the country to block any agreement made between Australia and other foreign country. Now recently Australia was also in news because of RAA, that is Reciprocal Access Agreement. So this is a defense cooperation agreement between Australia and Japan. Recently Japan was in news because of Hayabusa 2. So it was a mission by JAXA, that is Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. So it is a space agency of Japan, and Hayabusa 2 was a mission by JAXA. Recently this Hayabusa was in news because it collected samples from asteroid Ryugu. Which state has announced the construction of memorial for the victims of Bhopal gas tragedy? So this decision was taken by Madhya Pradesh government. Chief Minister is Shivraj Chauhan. Now to commemorate the people who lost their life because of this Bhopal gas tragedy, we observe National Pollution Control Day, and it is observed on 2nd of December. On the other hand, 3rd of December is observed as International Day of Persons with Disability, and the theme of this year's day was Building Back Better. In fact, UNESCO organized a campaign. This is awareness campaign, and the name of this campaign is Tell Our Stories, Enable Our Rights. Apart from that, on 7th of December, International Civil Aviation Day is celebrated. On the other hand, 7th of December is also celebrated as Armed Forces Flag Day. So it is also celebrated on 7th of December. And on this occasion, Government of India constituted a Armed Forces Flag Day Fund. So this fund will be used by the government for the welfare and rehabilitation of EXM community, that is ex-servicemen community. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important events. First is Pixel. So it is a startup company and it is related to space technology. The headquarters is in Bengaluru. Why it was in news? Because recently it signed agreement with ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, and as per this agreement, ISRO is going to launch the first remote sensing satellite of Pixel. Next is Urban Quality Index. So this has been released by IIT Bombay. So as per this index, Chennai is the most women-friendly city and Patna is the least women-friendly city. In terms of transport, Delhi is on top position and Indore was on bottom position. In terms of basic amenities, Pune was on top position and Patna was on bottom position. Next is Hampi Stone Chariot. So recently ASI, that is Archaeological Survey of India, decided to take steps to protect this stone chariot, and now it has placed wooden barricades. Now this stone chariot is situated at Vijaya Vitthal Temple Complex and it is in Hampi. Now ASI is Archaeological Survey of India and it is under Culture Ministry. Next is Adar Poonawalla. So the CEO of Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla, has been named among the 6 Asians of Year. So he is one of the 6. This Asians of the Year was released by the Straits Times. It is a leading newspaper from Singapore. Next is Narendra Singh Kapani. So recently he passed away. He was Indo-American and he is known as the father of fiber optics. Next is Energy Efficiency Report 2020. So it was released by International Energy Agency. The headquarters of IEA is in France, in Paris. It is important to note that India is associate member of IEA since 2017. Next is 3R framework. So this was jointly launched by United Nations, European Union and World Bank. And this 3R stands for Reform, Recovery and Reconstruction. So this is a plan for the recovery and reconstruction to put Lebanon on the path of sustainable development. Next is Cody Anderson. So he is a cricketer from New Zealand and recently he announced his retirement from all forms of cricket. Next is Bhasanchar Island. So this island was in news because of Bangladesh. Actually, Bangladesh is shifting the Rohingya refugees on this Bhasanchar Island, and this island is in BOB, that is Bay of Bengal. Next is also related to Bangladesh. So recently Bangladesh signed its first PTA, that is Preferential Trade Agreement with Bhutan, and it signed this agreement on 6th of December. Why it is so special? Because on 6th of December, Bangladesh marked the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relationship with Bhutan, and Bhutan was the first country in the world to recognize Bangladesh as independent country. So these were the most important events. Thank you, and that's all for the day.